Welcome to International's Groningen, a podcast which is all about the student life in the city. If this is your first time joining us, I'm Maria. Last time we tackled one of the biggest challenges for students, which is no other than housing. So if you have any questions, you can text us on social media. Go check our podcast if you're in search of a house or if you're dealing with scams or annoying landlords. Today we're handling a more fun project, which is music. And lucky you, we have Sarah back with us.
Yes, today we're talking about the student music scene in Groningen. There's so much live music to see in Groningen and so many people making music. So stay till the end to discover what the music scene in Groningen looks like, discover some new artists and nice spots to listen to live music. Our guest today is Myles, who is part of the Groningen-based band In Good Spirit. So welcome, Myles.
Yeah, hey guys. Really nice to be here. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from and what are you doing in Groningen?
I'm Domino, Myles Domino.
Oh, sorry, Myles Domino.
That's okay.
Double name?
Yeah, double name, but
Okay.
people call me pick and choose, so I like them both.
Nice.
You do whatever you want. In the band In Good Spirit. I'm from California originally. Both my parents are from there, and Ohio. And but I was born and raised in a small town, maybe an hour outside of Abu Dhabi. It's called El Ain, and it means the spring. Not many people know it, even though it's a large town. And then I'm in Groningen, just studying at Minerva, doing design and this kind of design, using like set design and installation.
And how did you get into music?
Yeah, I've always been into music. I used to play the trumpet in the orchestra. I was not very good at it. I can barely read notes, so it doesn't help. But growing up, my dad really had like barbecues and people around every weekend, and they'd just be playing music into the night, into the morning, and I'm just always around guitars and that, so I just kind of picked it up being around them.
Yeah, so do you play the guitar now?
Yes, I play the guitar, little ukulele, and barely the piano, and then singer as well. So
You sing also.
yeah. So there are three of us in the band In Good Spirit, and two singers, and then three guitars. So it's a little unorthodox, a little funky, but we have fun.
So no bass, no drums.
Yeah, so we have Bojan. He's amazing. He does kind of the bass on the guitar, and then sometimes switches then to higher stuff. He's great. And no drums, just because it's kind of a hassle bringing drum set everywhere. We could get like a cajon. Is that what it's called? The little box drum.
Mm-hmm.
You do things with your hand. I'm not familiar with the music scene, or I don't play any musical instrument, so I'm trying, to imagine.
Right.
What's that?
Yeah.
So tell us how you got involved in the music scene in Groningen.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to make music, and I used to do it alone. And then come the first day of the second year, the first day of the second year at Minerva, we had a guest lecturer come in. And he wanted us to go out for 3 days and just create something. And so some students came up to me and some others and were like, I want to play my contrabass in the field. I was like, okay, we'll bring our guitars. We'll go film ourselves playing in a field. Minerva's a strange school that can be a task, but we loved it. And by chance, this little group of people playing music in the field just started writing music together, and luckily I had been already writing music with Karu, the girl in the band. We kind of did like a duo music, and then now we have three of us, and it really just helped. And that day was kind of the day it happened. It's a really long story, and it's kind of crazy in the fact that we met the guest lecturer's band and their studio in the warehouse. So it's this kind of weird connection of people, and it was
love at first sight.
Love at first sight, music-wise. Yeah, it was great.
Okay, so this assignment that you had sparked you kind of meeting these people and starting to collaborate on music together. Yeah,
it was great. And then we got a gig kind of the first week. They paid us in food, so well, we take whatever we can. And we just kind of started jamming. We started under a different name, the Bus Collective. Because we initially played in someone's bus in the Suikertrein. That was one of our first gigs. And then we switched from that because we thought it was a mouthful. you know, the bus collective. It's a lot. But yeah, that's kind of minimized a bit of the story, you know. Yeah.
Well, can you talk a little bit more about how you said you went to the recording studio of your professor, or just get into that story?
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I can tell you all about it. We wanted to get a bunch of different locations for this this project. Really, it was open. The guest lecturer, he's amazing. He was like, you can borrow
What's his
my
name?
Patrick.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was like, you can borrow my canoe, you can borrow my tent. He's like, just go make something. In 3 days, come back, and we'll look at it. We're like, okay, yeah, we can make something. And so we went to a field in Buffalo, like a town that's kind of, you just go on the train for a while and then you're in the fields. It's really beautiful. And then we also went to the Suikertrein. And when we were there, we're passing these two people, and they were like smoking, just hanging out. And we just kind of jokingly yelled like, hey, can we play music in your warehouse? They're like, yeah, of course we can, you know, which we didn't expect, you know, we didn't expect them to be so open. And we're playing music in their warehouse. And then the girl, Jonica, she comes out, and she comes out with a saxophone. And she joins us playing. And now we're in this warehouse with these two amazing people, and she's playing saxophone with us. And we're just jamming. And turns out she's in the band with our guest lecturer, and the warehouse in the back is a self-made studio that they made.
So it was like a total coincidence that you ended up there.
What a small world.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Like we were just yelling, walking by, and so, you know, hopefully we'll record there. We'll record anywhere, you know, wherever we can. But that's kind of the spark of how the band got created. After that, we were like, you know, you don't just get this little bit of good luck. You know, we gotta pounce on it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was how long ago?
That was September. So whenever the year starts. So we're a really new band. It's now February, right? So whatever many months that is, you know.
Did you have like any concerts or sang at any place, you know?
Yeah, we've played at the warehouse there. We've played at Simplon up. The Simplon's a venue here, and then they have the stage upstairs. Really good. If we're talking about music scene, every Thursday I think they have kind of up and coming bands. Really nice. You can see really cool bands. And we played there. We're the really cool bands. And we play a lot at Minerva. We played at USWA. We played, a couple more. Zolder's.
So far, so good.
Yes,
Like,
yeah, definitely.
Wait, tell us about the gig in the bus. What was that about?
So the gig in the bus was actually an alumni from Minerva. She used to study there, and she lives in a bus, or paints in a bus, just across from this warehouse that we were initially jamming in. And, you know, when you hear a saxophone and all this stuff going on, she came out and was like, hey, do you want to play in my bus? We're like, yeah, okay, we'll play in your bus. You know, why not? And so she gave us a tour of her paintings and a tour of kind of her art space, which is interesting to all of us because we're all in the band studying in the same class at Minerva. And so it was really nice to kind of see that. And then that was the bus, and she named us the Bus Collective. And so we haven't dropped that name, you know, it's still in our hearts, but it was just hard to say over and over again, you know. So yeah, that was kind of the bus. You know, Suikertrein has amazing like places, you know, they've just got a lot going on. Yeah.
No, I don't know the place actually. Yeah,
It's,
but
the Sugar Factory, maybe you know it by this.
Have you ever been there?
yeah. I've been to some techno festivals there.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So we didn't play in that huge, we did not.
Indoors or outdoors?
We played indoors, but just in a much smaller place. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So where did the name In Good Spirit come from then?
So we were sitting in my kitchen. I think we were making kimchi bajjan. I don't know if this is the correct name. It's like a Korean pancake with kimchi. It's very delicious. It takes hours for us because I'd never done it before. And we were just kind of listing off names, and we probably had a list of maybe 100 something, maybe plus. None of them were speaking to us. All of them were a little, I mean, In Good Spirit is also pretentious, but they were all very pretentious. You know, we tried to drop them a little bit, and so none of it was working. But we kind of kept this in mind. You know, we want to find a name. You know, because you can't be a band without a name. And it wasn't only until the next week that we were smoking a little bit of weed, and we were trying to think of a band name. And we, again, we're blank, and I think it was Bojan, the guitarist extraordinaire. He said, "Well, you know what? We don't have a band name, but at least we're in good spirits." We're like, "Oh, I see you," and so it kind of came from that. Yeah, we thought we'd stick with it just because we like to be feeling good, you know.
Yeah, nice. I love
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
if you had to put like a genre label on the music that you guys make, what kind of music is it?
Yeah, that's tough, especially because we have nothing recorded yet.
Okay.
But if I had to label it, it might be something. Everyone nowadays is indie alternative.
Right.
You know, you say that and no one knows what you mean. You know, but we're indie alternative.
Okay, cool.
No, I'm teasing, but similar to that. You know, we've got, maybe to help you picture that, I come out with a ukulele at some point. It's a little funny, kind of folky. Yeah, folk, indie.
Nice.
We're trying to experiment as much as we can and kind of just stay away from labels until we find, you know, our sound. A lot of the songs that we've created and are going to put on the album are songs that we've kind of all written in the past and then kind of pooled and then remade. And so finding that sound will hopefully come out of that, you know, collection.
So this might sound like a stupid question, but bear with me.
Yeah.
Do you, like, when you go to give a concert yourself, do you sing as a band your own songs that you've written or other songs? Oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we play all, not all originals. We have 2 covers, just because, you know, everyone loves the cover, and they can be really fun to play and see people that know the song, you know. If we haven't released the music, and so you can't expect people to know your song, you know, like, why aren't you singing, you know, we haven't heard it before. But so we
Come on, sing along.
right, come on. And they're like, what do you mean? I don't know who you are. So we have Ain't No Sunshine, which is kind of a cliche. I think they put that in 3 for 12. They wrote an article. They said it's a cliche song, which is true, and it's a lovely cliche,
or classic,
right?
You know, it's
yeah. I loved it. I was like, yes, that's the right word, you know. And River by Leon Bridges. So those are our 2 kind of go-to covers. Yeah, right. And then the rest are originals, and then you know, hopefully we'll, after the release of a couple singles and an album, maybe stick to more originals. But there's nothing wrong with a cover or 2, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So turning to kind of the music scene,
Yeah.
the student music scene, more general in Groningen, like, just tell us about it, what you know about it. Like, are there a lot of local bands? Are there a lot of concerts to go to?
Yeah, there's this city is so full of music. I love it. You know, my hometown, they had music, but you needed a license, and no one really paid for gigs. You know, you could play at the golf club, no one's going to listen to you, or, you know, they had some open mics, but here it just seems that every venue is a place for music, you know, especially in the ESNS, you know, this festival that they had. Amazing. You know, every place is then a venue. You know, you go into a little cafe, a little bookshop, you're like, wow, there's a band in here. You know, it's great. Maybe staying away from festival times, though. Yeah, like the Zolder they have great music, you know, the Jam on a Thursday, and Jazz Night on a Wednesday, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I've been to those a few times. Can
Yeah.
you give us like an impression of what's like the vibe, the atmosphere when you go to Zolder on one of those nights?
Yeah, sure. Like it's, I think there's a lot of excitement. Like, you know, everyone who maybe wants to sing and hasn't sung, or knows how to play the guitar and hasn't before, is kind of wanting to go up, you know, and then they do, and they're fantastic. And I think you have some of the best musicians, they go there because you just want to play, you know. Doesn't matter who you're playing for or what you're playing, you know, just play. And so, I don't know, it's a really exciting environment. It gets really packed in there, and even down the stairs you go outside and everyone's smoking out there, and it's packed out there too, and you're thinking, you know, where are all these people? Like, you know, where are they coming from?
Yeah, and people get to collaborate with people they've never met before, and
Exactly.
it's all improvised, and
So
like
exciting.
everyone's dancing. It's really fun.
Yeah, like you see just this kind of creation right in front of you. Yeah, exactly. Kind of what you said. You said it perfectly. But yeah, that's how I described Zolder. And then the Jazz Night, I think, is a little more put together. But you just feel very classy. I feel classy. Yeah, and there are other great venues, like the Simplon Up I was talking about. cheap tickets. I think it's like €3 or something. Don't quote me on that.
Student friendly, yeah.
Exactly, right? You get 2 bands or a band every Thursday, and I don't know, like, it's a hit or miss, but most of them are pretty awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and how do you feel, is the music scene here different than your hometown?
Very much so. Yeah, the music scene, that, at least that I was aware of in El Ain, is... There was a place called La Dolce Vita, which was actually a friend of my parents.
Nice accent.
Yeah, you got that's the pretentiousness I'm talking about. Sorry.
Do it in Dutch now.
Right. Uh-oh. Not yet. He was a friend of my parents, Lebanese guy. He opened an awesome, like, it's a yoga studio. They did capoeira, they did everything, and they had a studio. And so that's where I recorded some singles alone. And they also had an open mic night. And so that's where all the musicians would go. You get to know each other there. It's a small venue, maybe the size of this room, but the other part of it as well.
Tiny.
Yeah, right? And you're just hearing people do covers, originals. We had some local rap people come up there. And then I was maybe 12 with a ukulele. And so you just have, like, this weird mix of people. And again, it's awesome. But that's the extent of it that I was aware of. And so, one venue, however awesome it is, you're kind of looking for other stuff. So I was really excited to come out here and just see, music everywhere.
Yeah.
Busking is something I don't yet understand. I think you need a license for it here. So I don't see many buskers.
Yeah, that's true. Don't see
Right?
a lot of buskers around.
Yeah, but
What's a busker?
When
it's-
somebody
yeah.
just plays music on the street.
Oh,
like-
okay.
Yeah, with the case out front.
yeah.
Yeah.
But say a student in Groningen was interested in getting into music scene, playing music. What would you recommend to them how to get involved?
I would say take a couple free gigs. Like first know what you're gonna play. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think if people are waiting to play something that's amazing, you'll just never play. And I can tell you very honestly, a lot of our gigs are, we think, oh, you could have been much better. But, it's just fun to be there. So I'd say go ask people, like, hey, are you playing? And once you meet one person, we met the people in the warehouse and they asked us to gig there. And it was for free, for food. We did it. And then after that, we got a gig from that. So the idea is you try to get a gig from each gig, as best you can.
Yeah.
And Instagram is a great spot. A lot of people reach out over Instagram. That's how we got our gig at Simple On Up. They just DM'd us and it went to the hidden requests. I don't know how you turn that off because I keep checking it, I just come to my inbox. I don't know, But yeah, I'd say gigging, as much as it is about the music, it's also about the people, like who you talk to. Just talk to everyone. That's what I'd say.
Yeah. Speaking of that, do you feel like being part of the music scene has kind of like brought you community?
Definitely. Yeah. Having a band is just a really reassuring thing. You got people that you can count on, got people you can like create with. That's something I think everyone's looking for, be with, create with. And definitely knowing other musicians is such an exciting thing, being an art school, a lot of the focus is on art and that's great. But yeah, my love personally is more the music and the art that comes with that. And so, yeah, I think community just kind of exploded after, playing music. And we haven't been playing music that long, and we also don't have that many gigs. We don't have any music out. So I really have no authority here, but all I know is that it's been enjoyable. And yeah, just people coming to you after the show just feels really good. Just saying, hey, like, cool, Even if it's not a positive thing, just the talking is really nice,
Nice.
Yeah.
And like before going on stage, like how do you feel?
Oh yeah, so nervous, so nervous. It's crazy. We have a ritual because
With good spirits?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Right, the good spirits. We have a ritual. We'll get one of the ginger shots from Uppy or Jumbo or something, and a bag of mandarins, and we'll take the shot of ginger before we go on stage, and then at the end eat the mandarins and a cucumber. And it's just having that ritual just feels really good. The ginger shot gets you pumped up, ready to go.
And the cucumber?
The cucumber just like you get a little hungry, go for a cucumber.
Stay hydrated.
Exactly, Yeah. So actually, how silly it is. It helps a little bit. You're like, oh, at least that's familiar, you know?
Yeah, it gives you kind of like a framework for me
Exactly.
to be in.
But we all get nervous at different times, you know. Garu might get nervous like a day before. I get nervous on the day, and Bojan only gets nervous, you know, right going on stage. So, you know, we all help each other out. And actually, the nervousness of it is kind of the enjoyment.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not nervous, and you, okay, what are you doing?
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know?
nervousness and excitement are kind of
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, very similar. So it's kind of a joy to be nervous. You know, I'm nervous right now. It's fun. You know, it feels good. Yeah. Me too. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
If you had to create a Groningen,
Yeah.
Groningen.
Dutch,
Yes. Yeah.
butchered it once again. Groningen International's playlist. What would the first song be?
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
And the reason why.
That's a big time.
Wow, people from Groningen. Okay, I was just looking at they've made a new in Groningen playlist on Spotify, but in Dutch, new wheat or I'm gonna butcher it as well. Yeah, that's a shame. We should learn Dutch. Yeah. Oh, best new artist. Is that what
No,
you?
more just, do you mean that or just more like a song for the vibe of being
Yeah.
international?
Oh,
and
okay,
Groningen?
okay, that's it. Okay. Oh, okay, that's easier to think about.
You're in the spotlight right
I know.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking up there, you know, hoping for some intervention. I really like Bon Iver, and I have him on quite often. I'd say something from his 22 A Million album. I don't know if people know this. It's a very popular. He's a huge artist, but maybe people don't know the album name. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's a really difficult question. I think that's the most difficult question. Maybe a Ben Howard song. Do you know Oats in the Water? It's on one of his earlier EPs.
I don't think I'll know it, but I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting, a little rocky. I don't know if people are going to resonate with this at all.
You never know, maybe.
But that might be a song I think of when I think of
this is the vibe
Groningen.
you get from the
Yeah,
city.
you know?
Yeah.
Kind of uplifting, but also kind of emotional.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love Groningen. It's such a beautiful city. I'm so happy I came to study here. You know, the idea was to not study at all. So to study is, you know, and then to end up in Groningen. It's been a blessing.
Nice, yeah.
Should we move on the clip?
Yeah. So recently, one of our colleagues at Hansemag went around and interviewed people about their favorite place to go for live music in
cool.
Groningen. So we have that audio, and we're just going to listen to it together.
All right. Yeah, we can do that.
My name is Darren, I'm Turkish, and I love to listen to live music in Cafe Crown in Groningen.
Hi, I'm Renata. I'm from Portugal, and my favorite place to listen to music here in Groningen is the Machine Fabric.
Hi, my name is Zoe. I'm from the Netherlands, and I think my favorite place to go for live music is the Zolder.
Yeah, so I think we had Cafe Crown,
Yeah.
Martini Plaza, I think she said.
Yeah, I didn't hear
Martini
what.
Martini
Fabric, yeah.
Fabric.
Okay.
And then the Zolder, which we
Yeah,
talked
cool.
about.
Yeah, I haven't been to the Crown for live music. All I know is they're special for Guinness on a Tuesday. But
Yeah,
good
maybe
deals.
it's a
Right,
place
yeah.
to check out, though.
yeah, that would be cool. And actually, coming to mind, I don't know if you know O'Callie's, the Irish pub. On a Sunday, they have traditional Irish music,
Oh, very cool.
which is really
Where's
exciting.
that?
It's you know, the Jumbo right next to the Crown.
I can't remember where the Crown is. I'm pretty sure I know, but I can't
Do you know
remember.
O'Malley's, the Irish pub?
Yeah.
So right across there is the Jumbo, and then that kind of intersection where the Crown's here, and then you just go kind of down past the bowling,
Okay.
and then you turn right, and it's just there. It's like traditional Irish music pub, or something. It says something on there.
Nice.
But the Crown, I didn't know they had music there.
Yeah, I
so
actually
that's
didn't know
cool.
either, but
Yeah, and
check
I
out.
couldn't understand the second.
Yeah, I'm Martini
Yeah.
Plaza. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be
something for
cool
people to check out.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Kind of wrapping up, right? Do you
Yeah.
have any other questions?
I don't know. Do I?
Where do you guys go for music when you listen to music?
I really enjoy the Zolder. I've been to like Vera, I think, before.
Oh
and
yeah, Vera.
Maas.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that. Yeah, great
Yeah,
spot.
there's a lot of cool places.
Vera.
Yeah.
Music doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I don't go out
Yeah.
for music like specifically. I go to techno festivals.
Fun.
That's why I knew the Sugar
also
Factory.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm familiar with that place. Yeah, but other than that, like when I go out, I don't go out specifically to some place to listen to music.
Yeah.
If there's something like happening, I'll definitely go. But yeah.
More for the atmosphere rather
Yeah.
than the sound. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, one last thing I wanted to ask is, are there any other local Groningen bands that maybe you could shout out?
Yeah, we have Third Degree Burns, really cool up and coming band. They got some like funky sound, really awesome.
On fire.
Yeah, on fire, right? Yeah, yeah, they're Burns. The Raisins. I don't know if you guys know Amicus Civitas. It's a
The association,
yes,
is it?
the association. They're all a part of that, and they're quite good. I think
like
they
that
do
name, the Raisins.
The Raisins,
It's like the Cranberries.
right? Yeah, exactly. I think they do mostly covers, and they do them really well. Let's think of some other. There's Bruno Storm.
I've heard of him.
Yeah,
I follow him
he's
on Instagram.
fantastic.
It's really cool, yeah.
I don't know if he has a band. I think it's a solo act.
Yeah. And he's
But
Dutch.
He's Dutch. Yeah, he also goes to Minerva. He's amazing. Yeah, I think as soon as I walk out, I'm gonna think of all of the bands that I should have shouted out. But yeah. Oh, Pocket Fish, amazing covers. They're fantastic. And Happenstance, also really cool. He does originals and has some of the members from Pocket Fish in his band, so they're kind of mixing it up. Yeah, those are some that come to mind initially. They're all fantastic. They all have their own sound. See them on Instagram. Check them out. We're in good spirit. Instagram _ after it. Yeah.
Do you listen to Dutch music?
Initially, before I got here, I wanted to search up Dutch artists, and I was trying to listen to Dutch podcasts and stuff, try to pick up a bit of the language. But Vrouwtje, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. She's an awesome
Probably
Dutch
not,
artist.
but
Yeah, probably not. Sorry, but she's pretty awesome. A friend of mine saw her live, and he said she was fantastic. That's the only one that comes to mind, like initially. Oh, who sings Tontalin?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, please help me.
pick the wrong crowd here.
in the comments there. I don't understand any of it. People have told me that they're really good with like puns and kind of wordplay. It sounds kind of fun. I'm blanking on their name completely. But they're also fantastic if people know the name of the band. Those are the two maybe Dutch that I listen to.
And then one last question. So you said your band hasn't put out anything yet, but is that coming up in the future? Like, should people be looking out on your Instagram for?
Yeah, definitely. Please do. We're hopefully this week or next week gonna release start recording a single, a couple songs, and then we have an album that's ready. So
Oh my gosh,
yes,
exciting.
in the next couple of moments of time, a lot of new music coming, and then hopefully gigging with that. We've been trying to kind of slow down on the gigging just so we can really focus on the studio production and all that. So finding people that know how to do this. We kind of know how to play, barely, but we don't know how to do the buttons, So if anyone knows how to do that, So yeah, we have an album and a couple singles, and a collection of songs I'm really proud of, and I think they are too as well. So
Great.
yeah,
Good luck.
yeah. Cheers,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
yeah. Thank you guys.
Thanks, a pleasure
yeah,
having
it's been
you.
great. Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. And tune into our next upcoming episode, which will be about finding a student job in Groningen. Very important. Bye.